Hi, team. All right. So, all you need to worry about for homework tonight is making sure that you are keeping up with your reading. So, you can see your pages here on the screen for you. Um, you are going to have a reading quiz on Thursday. So, not tomorrow, obviously, because tomorrow is a Wednesday and Wednesdays are a work day. So your next one, your first reading quiz is going to be on Thursday. You will get an individual reading quiz for your book only, so you won't have to, worry about or manage all of the other quizzes. Okay. So today we're going to be working on characterizations. And I know it says working on it with your group, but if you're not doing this with us in the Zoom, you're obviously going to be doing it on your own. So take a second and I want to know what you think characterization is. So just kind of think through that for yourself. So when we talk about characterization, what we mean is the specific personality traits that make someone who they are. So that would be things like funny, responsible, careless, thoughtful, respectful, um, mean, right? So it's kind of their personality, the way that they are most of the time. Characterization does not include emotions. So we can't use things like sad, angry, upset, none of that. And we also don't want to use words that are not specific. So we don't want to use words like weird, crazy, anything like that, because that's not really telling us anything, because they're really dependent on what you think those words mean. So we're not going to use those. Okay. So, how do we see characterization? Well, there's a bunch of different ways when we're reading. So, we might see characterization in a character's thoughts, the way they think, right? We are going to see it in the way that they behave and their reactions to other people. We're going to see it in the way other people describe them. And we're going to see it in the way other people feel about them. So let's take an example here with Charlie from Perks of Being a Wallflower. So when we see his thoughts, right, we can see that he's really caring. He spends a lot of time thinking about Sam and Patrick and Mary Elizabeth when they're dating, right? And trying to do the right thing. And we can see that he cares about doing the right thing from the way that he thinks. When we look at his actions and reactions, we can see that he's really thoughtful, he's really sensitive, right? So, examples of that would be the Christmas presents that he gets for Patrick, or the way he reacts when his sister tells him that she needs to go to the abortion clinic, right? He's supportive. Other people describe him as being really kind. Patrick, in particular, says that Charlie kind of sees things, right? He's able to see people for who they really are. And the way others feel about them is pretty clear too, right? Like Sam and Patrick are both really supportive of Charlie. They're really caring about him. They're respectful of him. They don't make fun of him. So the way that they feel is pretty clear as well. All right. So we just practiced with Charlie. So why don't you try to do this on your own with Patrick? So pause the video and we're going to characterize Patrick. So remember, you're talking about his personality traits. And to help you, here are these 4 ways that you might see it show up. So pause the video and just think of how you would characterize Patrick. Okay, so you were practicing characterizing Patrick. You might have said he's funny. You might have said he's caring. You might have said he's thoughtful. You might have said he's a little bit not mean exactly, but he's like a little bit like snarky or sarcastic. Okay. But if you use things like gay, sad, happy, things like that, those aren't characterizations. Sad and happy are both emotions, so they're not going to count. And gay is not a personality thing, it's just the way he is. So we can't use that for characterization because that's not what characterization is. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to pick a character from your book that you're reading, and you're going to identify 4 characteristics for that character, and then you're going to give evidence for them. You're going to give quotes for them. So my advice to you would be to brainstorm characteristics first, and get your list down, and then you can look for the quotes to support those. Okay, so when you go into your iLearn and you're looking at the document, it's going to look like this. These are the questions that we just talked about on the video. You do not need to go back and add those answers in. That's totally fine. You don't have to do that. Okay. So you're going to choose a character. So for example, let's say I'm doing Star from The Hate U Give. All right. So I'm going to list my 4 characteristics here, and then I'm going to find evidence. So I might say that she is intelligent. I might say that she is kind of an outsider, right? Because she doesn't really fit in with her neighborhood, but she also doesn't really fit in with her school. I would say she's thoughtful. And I would say that she's funny. I think she's really funny. Okay. So then I'm going to go back in the book and I'm going to find evidence that's going to support these 4 characteristics that I've chosen. Okay. If you have questions, you can always text me and let me know.